Alrighty, incredible morning. Incredible morning. All right, I just need to find this post so that I can make it public. Edit privacy, public, and okay, there we go. So now I just need to share it. So just give me a moment to share this out. Alrighty, and now let me go over to TikTok. All right, there we go. Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Incredible morning. Hello. I am Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365 LLC. We are the parent company of Stillaholics Anonymous, the product line Honestly Speaking, and 365 Creative Academy, where I teach you to unlock your creativity. I teach you how to design in programs like Silhouette Studio and teaching it for a wide variety of things like creating logos, which that is what we're going to learn today in the 7-day challenge. We're going to go over just different techniques and approaches to creating a logo. So we're going to talk a little bit about that before I have class that starts at 12 o'clock. So as you're coming in, just let me know who is watching, who's on. So drop a, hey, how you doing? Drop an emoji. Just let me know who's watching, where you're watching from. Hello, and incredible morning to everyone. We're going to get right into this because I don't want to be on long. Like I said, I do have a session at 12 o'clock for day 3 of the 7-day challenge for learning to create vector designs in Silhouette Studio. Today it happens to be the logo day. So I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about creating logos in a program such as Silhouette Studio. I'm going to also share my screen. I'm going to also, well, before I do that, I've had some people, message, is it really worth it? It's crazy because I get on here every day, right? Well, almost every day. And I'm like, you guys see how I teach. And I guess maybe that's what it is. Because I'm here, I'm on live every single day. Maybe that's why people are questioning it. Well, am I going to learn anything different from what you teach and what you've shown and what videos you've done? I'm not sure if any students are on. If you want to go ahead and drop a little something about it, about your experience, like being in the live class or just taking a pre-recorded class. But if you think I'm on 100 during the lives, you should see me in class. It's a whole different ball game when I'm in class and I'm really, really in my zone and focused on teaching. I find that in classes and when you're paying for something, you tend to pay a little bit more attention. I have videos and some of this stuff I have gone over at some point or another in various videos. But when it's free, okay, yeah, I have time. I do this, I do that. Or man, that video's too long. I have seen where, the students come in and maybe like one or two, if they have maybe they have something to do, like they'll fall off. But being on for that entire time and just soaking it all up, learning a lot in these sessions. I go into detail and it's really helping you to not just how to click, but I also give you um, direction on, okay, well, why do you do these things? How would you choose a font? And it's stuff that you're still going to have to do work and do research on, but now you have a better understanding. That is how my classes are. That's how just so with logos, I find someone says over here, it's worth it. She provides extra information. Thank you for that. Oh yeah, it blocked it over here too. I just couldn't tell. One of the things that I get asked about a lot is just logos, right? And if you are someone that's starting out with a business, or even if it's not going to be like a full fledged business, to me, business is a really, really, really powerful word. It's a strong word. Not everybody is ready for business because it's so much more than just selling something or just providing a service. There's a lot that goes with running a business. So it's a very strong word, it's a very powerful word. I don't feel like a lot of people are in a state where, like, in a mindset where they're ready to run business, like run a business or have a business. And it's like I said, it's so much more than just saying, oh, I have this stuff, I want to make money from it. Making money from something is not running a business, but you may want to identify what you do and the part that you have monetized separate from like personal. You want to be able to separate those and start to build a business. There's a lot of people that want to do that, right? So if you just want to kind of, you don't know maybe the direction you're going to go in, but you want to have something that identifies what you do separate from the person that you are, you can create a logo for that. And you don't even like mean, hello, there's a logo for nonprofits. There's logos for actual businesses, whether it's selling a product, if it's for a service, it's for a brand. So you can have something that identifies a separate name, and it doesn't have to be all of this like hoop and holler and having fireworks and um if it's something for learning, you have to have a book, you have to have, although it's so funny, I'm about to say you don't have to have it, but the logo that we're designing today, I actually have a light bulb in it. Like if it's like for an idea or creativity, do you have to have, if you're an artist, do you have to have a paintbrush? If you are a photographer, do you have to have a picture of a camera? Do you have to have a lens um in your logo? No. Starting out, because there's so many people doing things, you may feel like you need to have those things to just help identify what your business is. But it's also, how do you brand? What do you, like, what are the images that you put out there? What are you posting to social media? What is on your website? So you can have any name there, but if all of your pictures or all of your content on your social media, if all of your the content on your website screams photographer, it can be called purple giraffe. Okay, what the heck is a purple giraffe? But when you go to Purple Giraffe's website and you see photography and you see that they have pictures of them taking pictures of babies or weddings and stuff, oh, okay, this is someone that does photography. This is someone that does videography. Your name does it. You didn't even have to put Purple Giraffe Photography. You go and you brand everything you put out. You're showing that, hey, I'm a photographer, and the name of my company, the name of my brand is Purple Giraffe. You don't have to do all the craziness of it. You don't have to go to where you have a full-fledged giraffe in your logo, because then you're limited. So that is one of the main things that we're going to talk about today in the logo session is, can you just have a simple just words, but it is what you want to evoke. You can have someone, let's say three people that said they wanted purple giraffe. Well, I'm purple giraffe, but it's something that, a giraffe is tall. So maybe I want my logo, and how you get the giraffe look or like feel is, I'm going to choose a font where the letters are long. I don't want a font where it's wide because a giraffe is tall. So maybe I'm going to make it where it's tall. Maybe I chose purple as like the color and the word before, because people associate purple with royalty. So if I did use a giraffe, maybe I'm creating this vision by putting a crown, because purple represents royalty. So if I wanted it to be royalty, maybe I'm going to choose a font that has more of a regal look. But I might go and say, well, purple giraffe. And where does a giraffe, reside at? We don't necessarily just see them walking around in the city streets. So maybe my logo was more so of with like trees and stuff like that, like in their natural habitat. It's about how, like, the message and the imagery that you want to connect with people. You want them to resonate with your vision. So there is no specific way that you have to. And that's what we're going to show. I'm going to show them today in the logo one. I'm going to give y'all a little peek. And because some have asked, well, am I really going to learn anything in these 7 days? Is it really worth it? Money's kind of tight. I'm telling you, it's what you apply what you learn in 7 days, you'll make that back 1,000-fold. This is what she provides. Her knowledge helps you think outside of the box. Let me see. She does provide the why behind the use of elements. Thank you for that. So I'm going to go over here real quick. Incredible morning to everyone. Again, I'm trying to rush through this because we got class that starts in an hour. So I wanted to make sure I at least at 30 minutes on here. We'll mostly be listening because grandson is here and we are painting. Ooh, I want to paint. Designing and fonts is my biggest struggle. We talked a lot about how to pair fonts and how to choose the right fonts in yesterday's session. Was it yesterday or the first day? But we went through and I was showing them different ones and thinking about why you are choosing these fonts. If you don't know, Creative Fabrica has a lot of free fonts. I mean, a lot of free fonts on Creative Fabricas under their freebies. When you go on there, it's a whole lot, and you can have a library. I guarantee right now, whoever says designing and fonts is my biggest struggle, I can probably go, you can book a session. I can go into your fonts and you probably have some great fonts that will make amazing designs. It's just, you don't have I'm not sure who it is because it says Facebook user. You may not have the direction on how to actually pair it together. That is what's missing. You can have a library full of fonts, but if you don't truly understand how to fill the negative space, how to space things, how to arrange things, that's why you'll continue to struggle with it. It was yesterday, right? Yeah, we went over fonts and stuff like that yesterday. I wish I had a window office. Oh, well, this is one of the extra bedrooms. When we get an office, I better have windows. I gotta have windows. Let's see. Incredible morning. Watching from Boston, and then we have Louisiana in the house. Let's see. Hey, Ashley, how you doing, Hans? I almost forgot that I am streaming on Shakia Lavelle Pericles. I almost forgot that I was actually streaming over there as well. Boston, from Atlanta, Florida. Hello, fellow Floridian. Incredible morning. Yes, you will learn more in class. The class is worth it. You'll learn so much more. Incredible morning from Jersey. You lose track of time and give us even more of your time. I know. How much are your classes? And is it like we pay a set price for everything or paper? Mine are pay per class. I don't have a program where you just have access to everything. And it's my business model. And knowing, one, for me, how I learn, and when I see others where they take these courses and things that have all of this stuff in it, and you really never look at any of it. When you pay for something and you're like, yep, this is what I want to learn, you tend to pay more attention. I find that my students pay more attention when they are taking a class like they need. My business is creating content, is teaching. I can have a different class every single day, every single week. But if you go and you're in someone's program and you're trying to watch all this because you're like, okay, well, I paid $300. It has all this stuff. I need to watch all of it. And you don't even need it. You're not spending time on your business. So I try not, I do mine to where it's individual. You choose the class that you need. And that's why I keep them very affordable so that you take what you need and maybe not have too many distractions. The classes are way more informative, and the professor is very patient and very detailed. Let's see. Oh, and then my classes range anywhere depending on like what it is, and if it's like an older class on sale. But normally when it's a first run, it's going to range anywhere from 33.65 to about for the most part like about 85.63. There are some like my full programs where there'll be, you know, a couple $100, and like my live local classes will be at like a different range. But I don't have, you know, I don't really do like the, okay, you got to pay me $500, $1,000 to learn this stuff. No, my classes are very affordable. All my playbacks are available immediately. Literally, when we're in the class, the playback is being uploaded simultaneously. As soon as it ends, if you come in late and you missed the beginning part, you can literally go to that playback right then and there. So playbacks are available right after class, during class, technically. Let's see. Okay, so yes, we started that back at the beginning of the month. So as of, you know, the beginning of July, we went back to doing the bachelor's and master's. Hello from Fayetteville. All right, I'm going to switch this around just to show you guys. Ooh, look, I gotta move this so that my light. I changed the position of my light, so you guys will probably end up, that will be in the way. So let me share my screen over here. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what we did. I can't wait to see if some of you guys did your homework. So yesterday we were working on, ooh, my breakfast is still up here. We were working on simple shapes, and let's see. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me make this where it's not so in the camera for TikTok. All right. So we were learning about like tracing simple shapes and things like that in yesterday's class, and to be able to take a real apple and make a silhouette. This is how you make SVGs. Like, you don't have to be an artist. You can basically trace out real images and photographs. So we ended up taking an apple and creating this, and then from another picture, being able to basically vectorize it to where you can make a pink apple, a yellow apple, a green apple, and from this one apple, how to create this style, this style, this style. So all of these were created from like, so this is the ones that we did at creating a bite out of it. And then I was showing them how they can take that and use it for back to school and make like the split, it's not really a monogram, but like the split design, and you can put the name in the middle. We also did, let me see which one is, oh, this is what we're going to do today. So we're going over different types of logos. Same exact name. They all evoke like a different emotion or theme, or just like the look of it. And there's another one that I'm about to do that has script font. So it can look rugged, it can look tough, it can be soft, it can be a mixture. You can have it with a shape or image, or have it where it's just text. So we're going to go over this and how to space it and negative space and all those different things. So it's a fictitious name, Creative Design Studio. I just made that up, and I'm going to show different ways to create design. So you can see here, same exact set of words, but they all look extremely different because maybe, you know, whoever chose this name, what is their style for their business? So we went through, this was part of their homework, where I went through and I showed the one for the Samsung. So this was all done and created from this image to create this. So it's a vectorized version of it. And then you can go in and put your, whatever background you want on it. And then this was their homework, so I showed them like some of the different techniques for creating the camera and how to create the little opening. But if you wanted to use this for mock-up purposes or stuff for your website, but just learning this feature in general, if you now have this, I can now take, let's say, one of those images of like it's like the hands, it's like someone holding it. I don't want to, hopefully I'm not going to offend anyone by this. And like, I'm not saying that they don't have it for other races, but you know, for me, first thing comes to my head is like the African Americans, like they'll have the afro or the natural hair, things like that. And let's say they're holding a phone or it has like, you know, like a really cool, like funny saying with it if they're holding a phone. Now that you have this as an SVG, you can mix and match this with other things. You can make a purple giraffe holding a Galaxy phone, holding an iPhone. So, but you have to have that in vector format first. So you'll have to design the giraffe in vector. You'll have to have the phone in vector. Then you'll put them together and do certain things. So this was their homework. I showed them how to do the Galaxy one, and then their homework was to do the iPhone. And there was one for balloons, but I didn't open that one. And then for like the event one, we learned how to make our own template. So from the trolley one, and then to have the actual box where you can make your own template. So there's a lot going on. You learn a lot of design techniques and things like that in these sessions. All right, so let's see. Yes, the playback is up. The link is within the course. Yes, all of my classes you can purchase anytime. You won't get the live classes, but you will have access to the playbacks. You'll have access to whatever downloads or links and things like that so that you can follow along exactly with how we're doing it in class. So every last one of my classes you can purchase after the fact. You don't have to attend live. Bachelor's classes are every Wednesday. So it's there is a playlist for like it's under the playlist. So if you went to the actual like video link for that one, that's only going to give you that one. You have to go into the dashboard and under the course where it says the playbacks, it says playlist. You have to click on that playlist and save that one, and all of the videos will be under that playlist. Oh, thank you. Um, let's see. I signed up for, oh wait, I gotta flip y'all back around. We're gonna talk about logos. I signed up this a couple weeks ago, and unfortunately I haven't started yet. Is what you're talking about now what I will learn? If not, I need this too. So I'm not sure which one you signed up for because we just started. So I mean, I opened up the enrollment maybe like a week or two ago, but we just started on Saturday. So now we're in day 3. So if you signed up for the 7-day challenges, yes, that is what I taught in the 7-day challenge. If you signed up for Essentials to Silhouette Studio, this, I mean, you can technically apply what you learn in Silhouette Studio to be able to create these things. But here I'm showing like specific examples. So I'm not sure which one you signed up for. What I was showing just now was the lessons from the 7-day challenge, not the essentials. What program are you using to teach? What do you mean as far as what program am I teaching, or what platform do I use to actually teach the classes? That template was so informative and got my creative energy going for future projects. Can you drop the link to access the dashboard? So it's if you go to our website, shop.hsync360, that's gonna be the easiest way because the link is long. So for the actual academy, the academy is learn.365creativeacademy.com. Learn.365creativeacademy.com. But if you just go to shop.hsync365.com, where at top it says 365 Academy, you click on there, it'll take you to the Academy site. You just have to log in. Okay, so yeah, the 30-day thing, that wasn't this. The 30-day will teach you all of the tools and stuff that you need to know so that you can just creatively design. But that what I just showed was from the 7-day challenge. So if you want to do this, then just go to the website and sign up for it. You can still enroll. All right. Let's talk a little bit. Program your editing and making vector files. Silhouette Studio. I use Silhouette Studio. Do I have I have Photoshop, I have Illustrator, and I have CorelDRAW. Those are like my top ones. I have Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer, but I'm an Adobe girl. It's kind of like the whole Coke, Pepsi. What's over here? Giving y'all shots. Coke, Pepsi, Android, Apple, or Android, Samsung, kind of like that. I think that for me, knowing all these other programs for someone who is a beginner, it is great learning Silhouette Studio first. So that's what I teach from. It is a vector-based program. Taking an early lunch this week so I can attend for an hour. Yay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about logos. I'm going to keep you guys this way. So we're going to talk a little bit because we're going to get into logos today in today's session. We're going to look at some of the top logos and some of the mistakes that unfortunately people make when it comes to logos. All right. I know, trust me, I know. As creatives, we want to have our logo stand out. Some are trained to think that you have to have all this. Your logo has to show exactly what it is that you are selling. What is your business about? And then we'll hear things like, but they are an established brand. Well, when Nike first came out, they were not an established brand. It took time to build the brand that is Nike. I find that too many crafters, too many, small business owners, they want to be on a Nike level without putting in the Nike work or the amount of years that it took to get to this level. You got to put in work. It's not going to happen overnight. Purple Giraffe can be a household name, but you got to put in the work. When you go and you're putting in the work and you're letting them know what your brand is and what Purple Giraffe is, soon as someone hears it, they're going to know exactly, oh, that's that ice cream company. Oh, that's that photography company. Oh, that's that clothing brand that makes clothes for tall people, um to let them know. Okay, so music television, but we know it as MTV. Their official name is music television. So you can have and they don't have anything fancy. There is no music signs on there. There's no sheet music. There is no I think they do have a version where there's like a TV or whatever, but there's none of that. It's an M and the word TV. Music television, very, very it's just regular fonts across the bottom. Levi's, it's just text. The symbol for it is, the banner around it. If you see that, even without the name, you know that it's Levi's. Same thing with Apple. A lot of times we think that we have to have glitter, we have to have embossing, and we go straight to Photoshop to design these. But then when you need to be able to use it in different formats, oh, well, you want someone to make a cutout for you. You need to make it where you can do embroidery, or you need to, let's say, what else? Embroidery, or you need to do a DTF file or screen print. Well, you can do that from a regular file. That's a bad example. But if you need to cut it, or if you need to use it in different ways, let's say you want to put it on a shirt, you want it on a colored shirt. Now you're limited to having your design in a box or on a white shirt, because it's so much going on. You can't create a clean line to either print it or to cut it. Then there's so many designers where they're providing it to you without a transparent background. It's on this background that has glitter or a black background. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But when you go and you look at some of the top brands, these are basic fonts. They didn't even go in here and use edit points and change it and flip it, reverse it. Why? Can someone, I mean, I'm right now, I'm asking a really, really honest question when I say this. What what would be your reasoning for wanting a logo that is very, very busy? When you're thinking about, everyone says, oh, I want to learn how to make logos. If you've ever designed a shirt, if you've ever designed a tumbler where you've put words on something, if you designed a chip bag, you have essentially designed a logo because it's words. Unless the logo is strictly a shape and no words to it, and all you're going to see is just this symbol, it's words. You type it out with whatever font. So it always amazes me when people are like, well, I want to learn how to make logos. Can you type? Then you can make a logo. Do I need the machine to use Studio? No, you do not. You can use the program without ever having a machine. You don't have to necessarily use the paid versions. You can do a lot in the free versions of Silhouette Studio. And if you want to go to Business Edition to unlock additional features, you don't have to what's the word I'm looking for? Have a business to upgrade to Business Edition. You don't have to have a machine to go to Business Edition. You don't have to have a machine to go to Designer Edition. It just unlocks additional features. Google, one of the top names, and they don't have all that stuff on there. And when they do have the competitions, or let's say something's going on, it is breast cancer awareness, it's heart health, it's autism month, it is ice cream day. They can go and take this logo and put ice creams, and you're still going to recognize it as Google. You're still going to recognize it as Google. When this particular Apple one has highlights and it's embossed, but if you go and we just search the Apple logo, there's a flat version. Here's the thing. Here is one of the most important tips I can ever tell people when it comes to logos. If you don't love your logo when it's black and white, you don't love the logo. You like all of the other elements, and you feel like that makes the logo. But when the time comes where you have to, let's say, for space purposes or file size purposes, you can't have all of the glitter and this, that, and the third. And now you're looking at your logo in just regular, like just plain, just flat. And you're like, ew. If you don't love the logo without all the extras, go back to the drawing board. When I do logos, I send my clients their logos black and white. I don't even send it to them in color. Once you settle on one or two, all right, let's take these two and now apply your colors and different effects and things like that. But it starts with the very baseline vectorized, just straight paths logo, or just artwork or graphics, not all the other stuff. Never do I design where I'm designing and I'm automatically putting glitter or this, that, and the third in it. So Barclays, I want to go, it was another one that I was up here. We're going to look at this one. Coca-Cola, LG. So it's a face. It's the L and the G. Really, really easy to go in and create something like this. You just have to know, okay, well, let's say in this one, do we layer? Do we make it a compound path? Do you have to subtract anything? For the Amazon part, it's a smile. Well, if we started off with a regular straight arrow, how can we turn that into a smile? Or how do we create this element right here? Where the arrow is, how do we make it to where the shape of the arrow is the shape of the bend in the Z? Those are the things that you have to learn and understand. Okay, well, with FedEx, not sure if you guys ever noticed, but it's for forward moving. The shape, and I teach my students this, everything is a shape. I'm at 30 minutes. Everything is a shape. And I teach you how to identify the shapes within designs. So not sure if you ever know like the breakdown of like FedEx, but there is an arrow. So they strategically chose a font where when the capital E and an X is put together and it meets there, it is forming it is forming an arrow. for forward moving. It's little things like that within a design that, or within a logo, that makes it stand out. Like those are those little identifying things. Again, we saw Google where it had, you can tell it was embossed and it had shadows and stuff like that. But this is Google and just the colors. You see these colors together, you know what brand it is. Target, it's a Target. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a Target and the word Target. But we know what Target is. We know that it's not just a target for at a gun range. It's not a target as far as a dot. I mean, as darts. When they say a target on your back, no, we see this and we know that we were talking about Target, the store. Under Armour. It was how someone thought about it. It's actually a U, and then there's the A. So it's like, that's the Under Armour. So they end up getting a symbol because they took the two letters. And this is the other thing too. A lot of people will tell you, and when they're designing, you have certain artists where when it comes to like the icon or the symbol for your business, okay, well, I like, no, well, for us, I did it to where it's just the straight letters. It just worked for ours. But if you're doing Under Armour, this would not have had the same effect. I'm going to actually go to Under Armour. Let's just look for the full logo. I say logo, but okay. If you would have used the U and the A from here, it would not have this same effect. So you don't have to create the symbol for your business where it is the exact same font for like that first letter. This is a U, and then this forms an A. But you have to understand about just simple designing. Let's see. Okay, I thought I saw a question pop up over here. All right, we're going to go back to here. McDonald's. And this has changed. People always say, oh, you can't change, you can't change, you can't do this. McDonald's has gone through a change. GE just went through a change. Domino's went through a change. If I'm not mistaken, Papa John's went through a slight. You can change it up once now. Of course, you don't want to keep changing up. Most of these companies, like, they left it where it's always those signature colors. The arches and how they are used, they're changed. One, it's just based off of the time. If you look at let's say like when Coming to America first came out, and it was, they have the golden arches, we have the golden arcs, but it was pretty much the same. But during that time frame, the way McDonald's logo looked was so different, and they evolved with the way time changed. If you have a business and it's a thriving business and it's a sustainable business, you may end up changing it. Though, if we lived in a time that was like the Jetsons and it's futuristic, that may not resonate. This is why brands constantly change and create new versions, because you have to adjust with the market. You have to adjust with how society has changed, how the country has changed, how the world has changed, even to just how your city has changed. When we go in places that were maybe run down and like now they're trying to build up. Now you go and you see these high rises and these great like buildings, but people will have their mind like, oh, but that was where the projects was at. Well, you must not have been down there in a long time, because they don't put nice apartments and houses. They got 2-story houses over there. Environments will change. And as your environment changes, you may have to adjust your logo. Some of them are very timeless where they don't have to. If you look at Walmart's logo has changed, and what represents them has changed so many times. And this doesn't even have the fact that, like, for a while when it came to Walmart, what do we think? Like, it was the Walmart and it was the little smiley face. So as far as, look at how they started in 1962. When they first started, this is probably the most basic font that you will find on any computer. Then it's like, okay, maybe they toyed around with, or do we want to have this? This gives me Western vibes. And it may have been this, like when they first started, the city that they were in. Maybe it was, I didn't really look up the history on Walmart. Maybe it was somewhere where there was a lot of like, it was Western influenced. And then as they grew and now they're becoming global and they're moving to different regions, they end up having to change it. They had a star here. So we don't want this star. We want it together. We don't want to separate. So how can we still have the star, but put everything together? So now we have Walmart. This is still represents a star. They did, like, I think in between this one and this one, you saw that smiley face everywhere. That was the symbol of Walmart, but we still knew it was Walmart. You don't have to do a lot to make your logo and your brand stand out. And that's what we're going to kind of teach on and go a little bit over today. And I'm going to break down with all of these different concepts, what's the difference in them. That's what we're going to discuss today when it comes to all right, so let's flip around. Thank you for sharing, whoever that was that shared over on TikTok. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, I'm going to go so that I can make sure I'm prepped and ready for class. Go get my water because I do a lot of talking. It's an hour and a half of talking and instructing and stuff like that. It is easy to remember when the quality is good and you don't need all of that. They have basic logos that are recognizable and let their products speak for themselves. That's why that's what they teach in graphic design is I know that's why I teach graphic design. Yes, exactly. And I teach graphic design on, you can go to school and when you're learning about different things, my teachings are college worthy. They are university. Now, it can be from everything from community college to an Ivy League. The way I teach, it is on that level, but at a very affordable price, because if you really, really wanted to get into graphic design, my classes may not be enough because I choose to teach from Silhouette Studio. It is the program that I actually enjoy teaching. I know Photoshop. I use Photoshop. I don't enjoy teaching Photoshop, so I don't teach it. But you can grasp basic designing concepts. The graphic designing concepts are the same no matter what program you use. I just choose to use this one. But the level of how I teach, oh baby, is definitely college worthy at a fraction of the cost. This is great info. Using the white space to design the arrow in FedEx. Yes. I get a lot of offers to do cartoon logos. I don't necessarily want a cartoon. I will appreciate knowing how to do it myself, especially since my vision is rather simple. Thank you. Well, the cartoon ones with all of for that one, it's so some people really draw out for the person. A lot of designers, if you look at them, they all look the same. And they only design like the scissors or the heat press one time, they just put it on a table. And if you look at the body shapes, a lot of their bodies are exactly the same. They either put an apron on it or change the color. Little things change in the face. There are some where they really draw, like look at a person's picture and they're really drawing their features. That requires you to be an artist. So if you're not an artist to where you can just straight flat out draw and you're just going to digitize it, you may never get to that level to learn how to do it. Whenever anyone says they want to learn how to make the cartoon ones, like if you really want like a real good one, and you have the layers, you got to be an artist. It's going to be really hard to teach that if you don't even have the vision on how to draw it on paper. But then there are some that makes it really easy. There's like one young lady, she has some really good Procreate brushes for different like braids and curl, like for curly hair and stuff like that. So you might be able to find a pack to where it has 20 different eyes, 20 different noses, 20 different mouths. And all you have to do to create these is, okay, you know how like on some games and stuff and you're creating your avatar and they have or even like just for social media, they have the different eyes, the different nose, the different shapes, and you kind of pick whichever one is closest to you. If you are someone that has natural hair, you're not going to choose one that's like straight hair. You're going to look for something that's like an afro. And then when it comes to the colors, that's all like a lot of people do. they'll either buy a bunch of packs that have eyes, nose, mouths, shaped faces, different hairs, and then they basically play Frankenstein and mix it together. That's one of the things that you can do. But in order to know like where they go, right? I've seen some people where they'll make that and the eyes are like way over here, or they're too high, their forehead, their hairline doesn't. So that's where I took for designing and art and stuff. So we learn, I'll give you a little tip how we learn to like know where to put face and things like that. Any basic class for drawing or for graphic design, they end up having you draw base. If things start, I tell my students, it starts with a circle. And from that circle, your most faces, here your shape changes. But for most faces, you're going to go and it's a circle that goes basically through here. Like you can really take a picture of your face. And if you make a circle from the top of your head, it's a perfect circle. You'll find that a lot of times that it's going to end right here at your mouth. So then you take a line to make your face symmetrical. And then there is a line that you put, which represents like the top of your eyebrows, your eyes, your nose. And then normally that circle is the mouth. And then from here, for the rest of your face, is it one that goes down? Is it one where you're just going to now extend this circles because it's a completely round face? Do you square it off? Do you have a sharp chiseled jawline? So you design from here and then you come out for the rest of the face. So based off of that line, every face where your eyebrows and your eyes are, there, everything is in relation to it. So when you are learning, and even if you don't take a class, look at your own face or look at your kid's face. Take a picture of them, draw on it to see where is the lineup of where the nose is. Does someone have a nose that sits up really high? Is it sit really low? When it's a narrow nose, where does it fall at when it comes to your eyes? Is it one that comes in? So if you're trying to do someone that's like European or someone that has like the really sharp pointy nose, you can't make it to where it goes out here. But then for me, for most African Americans, when I see like a design and it's like just a straight nose, not too many of our noses look like that. It's a wider set. So how do you make it? And then there's somewhere their noses are very, very wide. So when you're designing for people, you have to learn to look at faces and know how to do those things. So I'm trained in making faces and doing all that stuff too. That's why I teach so well when it comes to graphic designing. Do you have to change from Sublimation to DTF? Heck no. You didn't have to change from vinyl to sublimation, but you really don't. Every method serves its purpose. If you go my t-shirt talk, it's on sale. You can purchase that. I literally break down all of the different ways to make shirts. Every last way, like almost every way that you can make a shirt. And I go through the pros and cons of each one, what is good for short runs versus long runs and things like that. And I have it coming up in South Florida. That's the first set of classes that I'm going to do. The class itself will be free. There's just going to be a small booking fee just to make sure that you don't waste my time. And so, you sign up and then you don't show up. So there is a small booking fee. The first one will be August 1st, actually. So it's all every Monday. So August 1st through the 29th, I'm having different sessions. There'll be some that's in the daytime, some that's in the evening. And we're going to be talking about the different ways. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stream it, but my t-shirt talk is there. But I will have another like live version where you guys can ask me questions and I'm going to give you all the information. It's just that when I do it live, they can actually feel it and touch the differences in the shirts. So I'm actually going to do that. But no, you do not have to go to DTF from Sublimation. Checking in from Virginia. Creative Fabrica has different faces and elements and bodies to create. I have to say, you teach so excellently. I get everything you say. Oh, thank you. Looking forward to your t-shirt challenge. Yeah, that's going to be like most likely it'll probably end up being September. Because I really want to plan it out, and then we have to create all these boxes. And I think I want to actually do a decorated top for the box. So I'm going to see. But yeah, most likely with the plans I'm doing, it'll probably end up being September, but open enrollment for it will be like at the beginning of August. She just dropped some major gems and they're not going to catch it because they don't see that like with that, like you can take what I just said about faces and do a little bit of research on it and be able to design anything. But most people don't really catch those as gems. They just think I'm just talking out my head. Yeah, so the t-shirt talk, this one was in 2021, so it's an older one, but you get the playback of it and it's still all the information. You just have to wait around for the new version of it. Like just re-talking about it, especially now. DTF, when I talked about that before, was a lot of converted printers, and now there are companies that are making like actual quality professional grade DTF printers where you don't have to worry about a lot of the, I mean, you're going to still have maintenance, but you don't have to worry about the clogging. And I have some transfers that are um, converted from a converted printer and then like a real DTF printer, and it looks different. It changed my mindset a little bit on DTF, and I'll talk a little bit about that soon because I have to prepare some stuff. But I was like, for my rolling, I don't even think I want to do eco solvent. Like, if I had a choice, so sublimation to DTF, they're different. But if I had a choice between eco solvent and DTF and getting like a real, like getting a real eco solvent printer, which is I paid total, I think 10,000 because I got the stand, I got the laminate and all that. But if you're just doing regular, just doing that regular, I think the Roland BN20, I forget how much it costs off the top of my head. It might be a couple thousand, whatever. But if I had to choose between that Roland and then putting a little bit extra money in to get the full on DTF where it has the powder shaker, it has the dryer at the end, oh, I'm going to get the DTF for that method. And I was like, if I had to do that, my rolling will be strictly stickers, and I would not print any eco solvent transfers. You still have to weed. I would do DTF in a heartbeat. So with those two, if I had to make a decision between, do I invest in an eco solvent printer where I'm not trying to make stickers, my mindset is not on stickers, I just want to make transfers and DTF, in that case, I would choose DTF every single time, and a true DTF, not the converted one. All right, so let me go because I got to prepare myself and make sure I have all of my stuff ready to go for class. You can still join. All you have to do is go over to shop.hsink365.com. Click where it says classes and playbacks. It's the first ones there. There are 2 challenges going on right now. There is the SVG challenge. It is we're in day 3. And then there's the event one. So there are both of those. Let me see something real quick. Oh, they already came on our street, the garbage. Yeah, it is. Because for the lives, I am going to cut it off because I don't want like there to be too many people, because if people start to unmute, it gets kind of crazy. So I had to check and see how many people. I know the SVG one is filling up, faster. There's still a lot, more space for the event one, but the SVG one is filling up. And until if we hit that number, until it is over with, you won't be able to enroll, because if you come in and it's like you're asking like these other questions, or not even for that, is if it's too many people that's going to come onto the live sessions, I'm going to have to cut it off, and then you won't be able to purchase it again until all of the playbacks, until it's done and it's just the playbacks, because sometimes it's harder to manage when it's so many people and people are just unmuting and not following rules. Luckily, we haven't had that, but I've had sessions and I've been in sessions where there have been like 150, 200 people on it, and it just gets crazy. So I just had to check the numbers real quick. I ordered the 4 are the classes. So I mainly teach designing. When it comes to the machine, if I ever do like a demo, if I'm cutting something out or whatever, that's where the machine part comes in. The main part is the design, and it doesn't matter if you have a 1, 2, 3, or 4. The only thing that changes between those is how you set the blade. With the 1 and the 2, it's just a ratchet blade. With the, well, you can do ratchet blade with the 4 as well, but just like, it's just the way that it looks is the only part that's different. I don't teach specific to any machine. I teach designing. And like when I do if you take the out of the box, it breaks down like, okay, how do you load the mat? How do you do this? How do you do that? But I have a bunch of free videos for it. When I did try to do classes that were like just beginner and, let's say I did a session and I'm like, okay, you've never had a machine, you don't know anything about vinyl, and it was just like the basics of it. The response to it, or like the other questions, like they really were expecting more than just that. But it's like, okay, you told me you wanted to know how to turn the machine on, how to load your mat. And then it went into like, well, no, I really want to know, I know how to do that. So I typically only do those type videos and free videos, like my lives or just like pre-recorded. And I'm showing you where you load the mat at, where you do this. But in this current state of my business, I mainly focus on the design, and it doesn't matter which machine you have, and you don't even have to have a machine. When people say I want to learn it for beginners, well, beginners for a machine this is where the power button is. This is how you adjust the rollers. This is how you load the mat. This is how you load the blade. That's literally all you need to know for any machine. The program is different, but I do teach it from a beginner standpoint as far as designing. All right. Yeah, I got to go, y'all. Thank you for keeping me on. I got to go. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. And I will see you guys in class. Peace.